Some good things have been happening in the gym business recently. Lots and lots of places have opened up that have barbells and heavy equipment, and the emphasis has become more and more on serious types of training. Here's the problem with that. A lot of people that run these gyms don't understand that in order to be a profitable facility, in other words, in order to just get the bills paid and have a little money left over at the end of each month to buy beer and some food and some stuff like that, you've got to have enough people training in the facility to make the thing work. This usually means that if you are in a normal size market, you have to cater to the general public to a certain extent. You don't have to tell the general public the wrong thing, but you have to be able to work with people who are essentially detrained as hell when they walk through the door. This will mean that you are going to deal with people that cannot squat, that cannot use their own body weight through the full range of motion of a squat. And if that is the case, you're going to have to figure out how to solve this particular problem. And we've tried it from all types of perspectives. We've tried using partials. A person can only do a quarter squat at first, lowering it gradually into a half squat, and then lowering it down. It doesn't work. Let me just save you the problem. It does not work. The reason it doesn't work is that you cannot strengthen a range of motion that you cannot move through. If you cannot use the bottom part of the range of motion of the squat, can't get down into that position, that range of motion will never get strong. Because believe it or not, different muscles are involved in different ways at the bottom of the squat than they are in the top part of the squat. That's why everybody likes to do quarter squats, because they're easy. Even people that can use the full range of motion choose not to all the time. But for a large percentage of the general public, typically a small percentage of the people that join gyms, but for a large percentage of the general public, the full range of motion of the squat is inaccessible to them. Now let's say you're a gym owner that's interested in staying in business. And let's say that you may happen to be a philanthropic type individual that actually cares about helping people that really, really need your help. People that really, really need to get strong. These people can't squat. What are you going to do? Well, this is what you're going to do. This is a leg press. Now, before you guys say, hey, Rippetoe's got a leg press in his gym in the hardcore Wichita Falls Athletic Club. Wichita Falls Athletic Club is not hardcore in the sense that some big bodybuilding gyms, serious bodybuilding gyms in bigger markets are hardcore. We tell everybody the truth here about exercise, but we also cater to the general public. We've got members from all walks of life. They just happen to be told the correct information. But lots of them, over the years, have started out on this thing to get to those things over there, and I'm pointing at the squat racks. And for many of them, there was no other option. Let's say you have a 55-year-old detrained female that comes in the gym. She may or may not be overweight. Let's say you have a 35-year-old overweight female that comes in the gym. Let's say you have a 70-year-old man that comes in the gym that's completely detrained. These demographics are a large part of the general public, and if you intend to help them, if you intend to do business with them, you are going to have to figure out a way to get them strong enough to do useful barbell exercise, if that's what your intention in the long run is. If you want to just keep taking their money and not making them stronger, then you go ahead and play around all you want to with all the fashionable functional exercise stuff and work. But if you intend to get them squatting, and they can't right now, you have to figure out a way to use the range of motion that they currently are unable to use. If that range of motion is inaccessible to them at their body weight, then you have to have a way to run them through that range of motion at a weight that is less than their body weight. And that's what the leg press is for. This is a 45-degree leg press. This was made by Mac Barbell about 25 or 30 years ago. It is a typical model. It is very simple. It has a carriage that we say weighs 45 pounds. I've never actually weighed it. I suspect it weighs more than that, but that obviously makes the math easy if we're going to use 45-pound bars. So we're going to say that the carriage weighs 45 pounds. It slides up and down a set of rails that are at a 45-degree angle. The stops on this leg press are set such that the range of motion on this exercise machine is fairly complete. Now, I don't program leg presses into advanced or intermediate or advanced lifters programs. They are useless as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely useless. If you can squat heavy weights, one of the best ways to kid yourselves about how strong you are, how to kid yourself about how strong you are, is to come over here and try to leg press 895 pounds. It's irrelevant. It makes absolutely no difference. For an actual lifter, this is a useless piece of equipment. It's a boat anchor. But for the general public that cannot use the squat at their present body weight, in other words, cannot move a weight equal to their own body weight through that range of motion, this is the only way to get them to where they can squat. And as such, it has a legitimate place in every gym that intends to do business with the general public. Let's show you how it works. Shelly's going to get in this machine, since I'm not really in a position to be able to do it without extensive warm-up. She's going to have a seat in the machine. This is the way the thing is configured. I have the backboard set at a relatively low angle so that all of these angles are going to simulate as much as possible the squat. Now, obviously, she's not going to come erect. And the object here is not to completely simulate the squat. The object is to work the muscles that we will be using in the squat through a semblance of the range of motion that they will use in the squat, so that we can get those muscles strong enough to get up out of this thing at some point in the future and go over to the squat racks and actually use a 15-pound bar to squat in a real barbell training fashion. Okay, but this is the way we get there. You'll notice that we've got Shelly's feet on this plate, rather high, pointed out in the same angles and at the same spacing, a little wider than that we would use for a squat, because we want to simulate the action of the hips and knees as much as possible. Note that even in a locked out position, she will stay at about 90 degrees to the legs, but we're going to work the hips and legs right now through most of the range of motion of the squat. This type of machine comes up out of the rack as she locks her knees out, and the supports are on either side that hold up the carriage at the top. The handles at the bottom are for you to brace your hips down onto the seat. Chest is up. She's going to take a big breath, just like we do in a squat. Come down, touch the bottom, and back up. And this position right here works the whole range of motion. We like to use sets of 10. She's going to come down and make sure that she touches the bottom so that the entire range of motion gets used. Count to 10 while I talk. Now, this thing only weighs 45 pounds, theoretically. I have had my mother in this machine before she died, when she was 87 years old, using this machine with about 20 pounds on each side, so that it weighed about 85 pounds. A frail elderly woman could do 85 pounds. Anybody can use this machine. Anybody. Is that 10? Okay. Thank you, Shelley. Anybody can use this machine to get stronger. All you have to do is find out where your client is now. Empty. Load the thing. Don't load it at all. Just put no plates on the machine. I'm leaning on the plate loading pins here. Do a set of 10, empty. Add 10 pounds. Do another set, empty. Titrate it up. The person may only be able to do 75 pounds the first day. So we'll do 75 pounds, and then we'll do 3 sets of that weight. The next time they come in, they go up 10 pounds. The progression will be faster on the leg press than it will be for the squat. As a general rule, I have found that when we get that person up to their body weight for 3 sets of 10, they're ready to get up off of this machine and go over to the squat rack and begin to use the squat as the primary exercise for training that everybody else can use as well. This leg press is how we get them there. So, what you've got to do is determine whether your facility is going to be the type of facility that's useful to a broad range of people, or whether you're going to restrict yourself to dealing with athletes. If you want to do that, that's fine. Good luck to you. I hope that makes a lot of money. But I think you're going to find that the successful gym equips itself to deal with as many people as possible, as many people from as many walks of life, in as many demographics and as many special populations as it possibly can. Because that type of a gym is profitable, and that type of a gym gets more good done by spreading the word about training with weights and how to get strong. Thanks for watching.